Good morning everyone. Still haven't found a home for this little fella. But talking of this little fella actually, reminds me of gardening. I just wanted to quickly say before we start this video, a massive thank you to everybody that continues to share their knowledge in the gardening world, because it's a new venture for me and I know absolutely nothing about it, but I've been getting stuck in with it. Both Lids and I have been enjoying the journey of learning about gardening and trying to do some home improvements on our own essentially. And some of the feedback in my comment section are amazing. Some of the suggestions and the insights into it and the tips that you guys give, I'm extremely grateful for. So thank you for that. But today I woke up feeling how I felt, to be honest with you, every day this week, which is a little unmotivated, but just completely zapped of energy. And I'm not really sure why. I think it's because I probably consumed more alcohol this weekend than I have for quite some time, and I often find that if you drink in large quantities, it can be a zap for energy and just general good lifestyle choices. So I'm kind of putting it down to that, but I've been showing up to the gym and getting my bits done, because I think that the difference between the men and the boys is those that do it when they don't feel like they have the energy to, versus the guys that just decide, you know what, I don't feel like it, I'm gonna sit out. It's important to listen to your body, and I'm not saying push through levels and boundaries that your body can't cope, but I know that I'm just trying to achieve something that I've been consistently doing for quite some time, and I'm not really feeling like I've got the energy. I feel it's probably self-inflicted, so I'm pushing through, getting my sessions in, and it does make me feel a lot better after it. It's just a horrendous experience in the morning, getting up, feeling like you've got no strength, no energy, putting yourself through a gym session. So it's not been the most productive of workouts this week, but nonetheless, been getting them in. Just a little reminder that if you're feeling a little bit low and your strength and energy isn't quite there, don't use it as an excuse to not get in and get it done, because something is better than nothing. But anyway, today I am going to be tackling something in the garden that is still very much up for conversation. We're not sure what we want to do with it, so for now we're going to basically just be turfing it over. For any of you that remember, there's a big large bark square in our garden. It was previously used as a climbing frame area for the previous family that owned the property, and Lids and I we're going to use it as like a chimney kind of social space, and that's something that we might do in the future. But for now, I think we're just gonna seed it and just turf it over so we can use that as a lawn. And whilst I'm talking about doing more stuff in the garden, thank you for your patience over the last few videos, because there's been a lot of gardening and I appreciate it's not for everyone. If I was to go and watch a video like a year ago, I wouldn't be interested in watching somebody do some gardening stuff, because it wasn't a passion or an interest of mine. It's something that I'm finding myself doing a little bit more recently. So I am going to be introducing some more fashion, fitness, lifestyle, grooming, all of that stuff onto my channels. So please do bear with me. It's just been some difficult times recently, I guess. It's just pushed me in some different directions, but we will be getting back to all of that stuff very soon. In fact, in today's video, at some stage, we might delve into some of that good stuff. So for now, I'm gonna get cracking on with the garden, and then maybe later we'll take a look at some recent pickups. We might talk about some fragrance, we'll see how we go. So today for lunch, got some butternut squash and lentil soup, and also from the Plough, we have some turmeric and olive bread, which is insane.
I have received a very exciting delivery from Veg Chug, and this is the next step up from my little terracotta pots. This is my outdoor veg area.
Nice silver birch colour.
Yeah. I don't know if it can it go outdoors or indoors.
It looks like indoors. Herb garden.
It's my herb garden.
Wow.
I need to get some more seeds. And, ooh, oh yeah, that'll be the little insets. So Ali is building it for me, because
that's what I do.
That is what he does. I watched your vlog last night, babe, and you look, I was just like, I can't believe how busy you are. You're like doing so much stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
I know it looks like I just sit around and do nothing. Oh. Don't rush. Don't touch. Oh, man. Oh, you get little hoods, so maybe it can go outside, I don't know.
I think it can go outside or inside?
There is no instructions.
Oh.
Unless they're under here. Ah, there they'll be. Oh. So whenever you do anything, preparation is key. So I like to just lay everything out, check that I've got the right parts, and then it all just sort of works. I know, these are the compartments that you put your soil in.
Yeah, I know.
Gotcha. Ah, there the instructions are.
Or as my dad says,
note there for you.
the destructions.
Yes.
More seeds!
The seeds?
Yeah! Oh, and there's ones that I haven't done yet, so coriander and rocket. Even though I hate coriander.
You like it now? Because you're growing it.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Anything that Lydia grows, she's like, oh, I love this.
Coriander. I'm going to do the rocket for sure. And basil, because I love basil.
It says you need a screwdriver. I use a drill. It says you need 2 of those. We've got 2 of those. Perfecto. Gosh. How cool is that? They've sent Lids a load of seeds. It says just on the top what the seed is. So you've got basil, coriander, parsley. Lovely. I'm going to be watching this little bad boy instead.
Take 4 I-type screws and screw this panel into the legs.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna.
Happy?
Yeah. I think I might paint it sage green though.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it being in wood. You can keep on painting it any colour you want.
Yeah.
And because they've embossed the
Yeah.
text at the front, that should stay. We have 8 potting stations, what do we call them?
Spruitling homes.
Just here, it's the herb garden. And then underneath, that's where you can keep some of your pots and your utensils, maybe the basket of the tools. That
When I was
got
thinking
you.
though, when I water it,
Yeah,
the water will
watering
go
can.
through.
Water will go through.
Yeah, because it needs to drain, doesn't
So you
it?
could put a little tray underneath.
Yeah.
Lovely. You happy with it, Lummy? As always, no response.
What do you mean, as always? There's usually a response.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's so inaccurate.
Yeah, it's totally
It's actually abnormal that there's no response.
What's wrong? Have you got the...
What's the matter with you?
Good.
There you go. You had me worried for a minute then. Noisy moo. Oh, Granny Meow was 6 yesterday, weren't you? Daddy said, you've lived half your life. I've cut your life short. Oh, Granny Meow.
I think I might paint it now.
Really?
Yeah.
Take out the black
Yeah, yeah.
bags. It looks lovely though.
Oh, Lummy Bear.
Just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it. It all, I just wanna be free. Finally, finally, finally. I wanna be free. Finally, finally, I wanna be free. Finally, finally, finally. I wanna be free. Finally, finally, finally.
Couple of sunflower seeds for the birdies. Right, so we're going from inside out. The next project of the day is fitting a light in the smaller well, which looks into the gym area. I'll just spin you around. I'm not sure if we've shown you this yet, but if you look down here, we've had the same system installed with the cedral cladding and paving. This is the limestone paving. Got the gully in the corner, which matches the one around the side, and then I'm installing the light just here on this back wall. As you can see, we're still waiting for the trim to come for the drip tray on the top, and as soon as that's arrived, I'm probably gonna have a go at fitting it myself. But I thought I would quickly share with you the lights that have been installed, because I had a couple of questions, people wanted to know where they were from. So they're Astro, they're the Calvi Wall 215, textured black, and just some lamp details on top. They're 280mm by 150mm, and the depth is 200mm. Very important to check your dimensions when you're buying lights and stuff, because it's very easy to get it wrong and end up with something really small or really big that just doesn't fit the space. I've then gone and brought some Philips LED lights. These are a take of the classic squirrel lamp that you'll see a lot in kind of like retro style, and these are I think they're a warm white. They're 2700 Kelvin. A Kelvin spectrum is basically just the colour spectrum from a deep yellow up to a blue. Commonly in our households we'll see around the 2700, and if you're more clinical you'll probably see them moving up to more like 4,000 to 6,000 Kelvins. And then if you're looking for something that's like really retro, then you're going to be dropping down into like 1,000 Kelvins, where you're going to be getting a much warmer light. And we just wanted a more of like a daylight natural light colour, so 2700 Kelvins was the closest to that I could find. These should last for quite some time, so 15,000 hours, and they put out the equivalent of a 60 watt lamp using 7 watts, which is great. 806 lumens. Lumens is the amount of light that you get from the lamp, so if you were to stick a lumen meter into the air it will be thousands, but still for a lamp 806 lumens that's only 7 watts in power is brilliant. So that's what I'm going to be installing inside the lamp. Just before I get started on that space over there, I just wanted to quickly show you the area that I mentioned earlier. It's probably a little bit presumptuous of me to think that I'm going to achieve this today, because it's a very large area and I've actually got a call today at 2 o'clock, so the chances of me doing this are very slim now, but we will get to it at some point. If I spin you around, you'll see this area here, which is about 8 meters by 8 meters. I haven't actually measured it, but there's Lumi for scale. And you're about 1 foot long, aren't you? Yeah. I'm going to be removing all of this bark. I kept a yellow bag actually from when the guys were doing the work down in the main basement area, and I'm going to chuck a load of this into that, and then the rest of it I'm going to have to work out how I'm going to distribute it around the garden. Also, Lids and I had this patio regrouted, so as you can see it's all lovely and regrouted. It needs a brush over because it's still got some loose sand. I can't remember the products they use, but it's fantastic. It just helps bond the patio back together. This is just a temporary fix whilst we wait to decide what we want to do with this space, but it just tidies up for now, because there were literally like cavities in between some of these slabs. There's so much movement, so we're not expecting it to last for long, but it will keep us going for now. And just along this edge line here, probably moving up over to there, I'm going to stick some box hedging in or something like that. If you guys have got any suggestions, I'd love to hear, just to sort of like finish this off. Obviously this section we spoke about before is going to be the herb garden or vegetable garden, and then this section here we might put a pond here. Again, if anybody's got any opinions on that, I'd love to hear, because there's obviously a lot of trees around it, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I guess maintenance would be quite high because of all the leaves that are falling during the seasons, but it looks like quite a nice place to put a pond. If it doesn't go there, maybe we'll find somewhere else for it, but it'd be nice to have one.
Never imagine I lose my spark.
Great tip, if you've ever got a tube or a tub of cork or silicone or anything like that, you obviously don't need to use it all at once. If you just stick a screw in the end of it like this, you'll see the screws collected the silicone that's dried out, which means that this is now usable and we don't have to chuck it all away because it all went hard and ruined, which is great. So the lights that I'm fitting are IP rated, however they're not fully waterproof, so they're for outdoor areas like sheltered areas and stuff. So I'm just doing some clear silicone sealant around some of the more vulnerable areas. I had a good chat with Matt, the electrician, as well regarding this, and we both felt comfortable that these lights will be absolutely fine. And this is just more of a precautionary measure really to put this in place.
Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark.
When I was working, my boss used to always tell me that preparation was key, and as I'm going to be working down in that hole, the last thing I want to be doing is getting up and down those steps to get stuff. So I've prepared everything that I believe I will need, or stuff that I might need if I have any issues, and I've laid it all out so I can reach it all when I'm doing the job down in that hole. So I'm all prepped, ready to go. Time to install it, and then I'll show you it once I'm in.
I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally.
And there we have it. Our new, slightly on the wonk wall light. I need to go and tweak that. Luckily you can tweak these fittings. So yeah, lovely. Happy days. With some light in the light well. Good morning. So we've moved on to Sunday. I don't know what day we finished off. I think it was Thursday that we were last getting busy in the garden and putting up those lights. Made a little bit of progress since then, which I'll talk you guys through in the meantime. But whilst I'm here just getting ready for the day, I thought I would quickly share with you some new hair products that I've been using, because over the weekend I tried out one of Larry King's products that I've never tried before, and I thought I'd run over today's and previous hair products. So, ooh, lost you then. One of sort of like main go-to ways of styling my hair is the clay and spray. I use the clay to basically create texture and hold, and then I spray it to fix it in place. So for those of you that know, go-to product of mine in the clay world is Mr. Burberry's just a standard clay. Yeah, hair and beard clay. Never put it in my beard, don't think I ever will, but it works really, really well in the hair. It's really pliable, smells nice. Yeah, does the job. I then always go and seal it with the 5 maximum hold hairspray by Silvercrin. It's a Weller product, and literally I've used this for absolutely years, and it's the best hairspray at a very affordable price. So it's the classic. And then this is the products that I tried the other day. It's Larry King's Velvet Texture Clay. Very impressed with it. I'll show you inside. As you can see, it's a nice soft clay, very similar to the Burberry clay in some ways, and really easy to apply, creates a nice hold. This is another great clay that I would recommend to anybody that's looking for a new clay. That or the Burberry clay, both absolutely brilliant. I've also got an American Crew clay that I found great as well, and they've also got one in there that's really great for that kind of wet look. When I wear my hair down forward, I like to create that more like out of shower look, and that's a really great product for that. Today I've just gone with a salt spray. I think I spoke about this product before on my channel. It's Jack the Lad Texturizing Salt Spray. Most salt sprays pretty decent. I've never really found a salt spray that I don't like. Some of them smell a little bit more potent than others, but salt clays are just really great for days like today where I just want to keep my hair looking quite smart, but you can see there's not really much hold in it, but it's just sitting in position because I'm going to be out and about in the garden getting sweaty. I'm not going to be seeing anybody, so I'm not too fussed about my hair staying perfect all day long. I want that kind of like natural beach style look, so there's a little bit of texture, a little bit of hold, nothing too crazy, and I just apply it and then dry my hair and then we're good to go. So yeah, I thought I would just run you through those products because they're products that I've used for absolutely ages, minus Larry King's clay, which is a new product. I'll leave a link down to those in the description box below. And that's about all in the hair department today, but I'm gonna go downstairs and make myself a second coffee. I've already had a coffee in the garden with Lydia this morning, which was really nice, just watching the birds do their thing. Then I'll take you around to see what we've been getting up to in the garden, which is mostly just jobs that I was speaking about just a second ago, and they've now been done, so happy days. So I'll quickly show you the progress that's been made and the plan of action for today. Talking of morning coffees, had a little accident the other day. This This is one of Lydia's Astia de Balat mugs that she purchased 4 of the other day, and I've already smashed one in the sink. That was an expensive mistake. You would all be pleased to know that there's been a lot of new fledglings that have came about, and we've probably now got about 10 blue tits, great tits, cold tits, whichever tits they are. Lovely little fellas that have all started coming to the bird feeder. There's a couple of older ones, but there's lots of youngsters that have been coming in, and of course the goldfinch. But yeah, these tits have been taken over. Just before we got into the garden, I wanted to run through a couple of things that we need to do today. One of them is, if you can see this vase down here on the floor, that lives in our living room, and I need to go and cut a branch from one of the trees. I think I'm gonna actually go to the plum tree and cut a branch off, because I think I've mentioned this before on my channel many a times. We like to bring things from outside in to create that kind of like synergy from the outside space here and bring it into our home. So I'm gonna do that. I did the classic thing of leaving out the cushions yesterday, and it absolutely hammered it down. So all of our cushions got drenched, which is slightly annoying because they take a while to dry out. So I'm just doing that, and then we take a walk over to this area where the bark was. You'll see that we're now bark free. Today I need to look at taking out, oh sorry mate, this bit of wood that runs along the grass line here, the verge. I'm going to remove that, and then in this space I think we've calculated we need around about 8 tons of soil, just topsoil, to put in, and we'll run that over, and we're just going to seed it because, as I mentioned, this area hasn't actually been designated with a plan yet. It's also something that will take a couple of years probably to get moving forward with. So for now we're just going to seed it and allow grass to grow over there just to keep it in line with the garden. Over on the paving section you'll see that this has now been prepped up, and we've created a nice little strip ready for some box hedges to go in, just to hide the edging of the paving. Also, we are paying close attention to these citrus trees because we had some orange fall the other day. I've got a pH, moisture and light meter which has arrived, so I've been doing lots of tests on both of the trees, and so far everything's reading really well. The only thing that obviously you can't read over a period of time using the meter is the amount of light that it gets throughout the duration of the day. You can only just test it for in that moment, but you can see they're still getting light now, just about. And my gardener said that he believes it's got new sprouts on it, and there are definitely new flowers and new fruits that have started to grow on both of the trees, so that's a really good sign. And he did say that from a little bit of research he found that there are lots of different reasons why fruit fall from trees, and 80% of fruit sometimes falls off the tree because it's trying to make sure that all the energy goes into a smaller number of fruit to make sure that they basically maximize on the quality and not the quantity of the fruit of the tree. So it could have just been that. I think that it also could have been from the shock. These went from a warm greenhouse environment where we'd had like a week of boiling hot weather, and then when we brought them home it rained for a week. They've come into a colder environment, so I think maybe just a little bit of a shock factor as well. But I'm being very attentive. I gave them some feed yesterday as well, so hopefully we'll get a way of having them down here, but only time will tell. Then if we take a walk into this section of the woodland, you'll see that all of the bark that we stripped out from over there, we've now run it around my fire pit area. So we've created a nice big ring with it, and then we just scattered some over here. This is actually how it was previously. There was always bark that was always laid around this area, and there was actually always a fire pit here as well. So we've just basically renewed it, so there's been no waste, which is lovely, and it looks a lot smarter down here. I'm just going to brush it out a little bit more because it's a little bit high, blend it into its surroundings so it looks a little bit neater, but really happy with how that's looking. I don't know if I did this on my vlog actually. I think I just did this off camera, but I basically dug out this strip here in the garden, which I've mentioned before, to hide the manhole cover that's situated here, and I seeded it with some wildflower, and we started to have sprouts come up, which is a good sign. Some grass is growing over there, which is also good. Looks like the squirrel's been in here digging, or the cat. But yeah, got some fruits coming up, which means that hopefully this will all be covered up soon and we won't have a big brown pile in the garden. Lids and I are also still unsure whether we want to paint this staircase or not. Yeah, we're just unsure because obviously if we paint it, it's going to get hammered if it goes white anyway. And a good old jet wash session would probably help this out, and then I just need to get some new ends for and caps, and then just basically sand down a few of the areas and touch it up a little bit. But the sort of silvery grey actually looks quite nice in this area. But what I'm thinking of doing is jet washing it down, cleaning it up, seeing if we can get some paint to match the colour and just tidy up some of the rust patches that are on here, and then maybe this can just stay the colour it is, but that's still a decision that needs to be made. Also, the water feature arrives tomorrow as well, which is great because it'd be nice to have that down here. And then Lydia is toying with the idea of putting some plant pots as well with some roses around it, which could look quite nice. And then we need to work on ordering the seats for down there. This flower bed's looking quite good, blooming very hard right now. I did notice that the slugs have been very active over here, so I need to get some repellent. We're starting to come to life over here. Had some new roses come through as well. They just keep on budding, keep on deheading them, they keep on rebudding. So really happy with how these are settling in. It's good to see that they've taken well. We've got a little bit of flower on this year as well, which this is slightly more of a shaded area than over here. This gets a lot more light, and this one's just not really taking as well, as you can see, but maybe we've got a slow starter. I don't know if you can hear, but today the red kites are just going crazy, just constantly singing to one another. I don't know if it's mating season. In fact, on Friday evening, Lids and I came out into the garden and we just sat down here. It's probably about 10:30, 11 PM, maybe even later, and we could hear one of the owls. So we came and sat out, and it was just sitting in the bush just up here, and it was calling out to another owl that we could hear probably half a mile away or something, and they were calling to one another, and then it just flew out through the woodland through into there, and it was just like, wow, that was amazing. Just listening to the noises that it makes, I've never heard before from an owl, so that was quite nice. But anyway, this tree behind me that you can see just here, this is a plum tree, and as you can see, it's currently slightly overhanging the path. So rather than just chop it all down and chuck the stuff into the garden bin, I'm going to be taking some offcuts from that to stick inside the house, and then I'll just slowly work my way through it to clear the pathway. Because when we put the box hedging in down in that corner, obviously we're going to have to walk around it, which is going to mean that the tree's in the way. So I'm going to start chopping that down and sticking it in the house. Normally get about a week out of the bush, so I'll go and find myself a nice little branch, and then happy days. So I've got myself the offcut, and what Lydia asks me to do is at the bottom of the branch is just expose some of the underneath. A couple of people messaged in saying you can actually drill holes into the bottom. It's just to allow for the branch to soak in as much moisture as possible, which makes it last for as long as possible. So just like that, we have our branch ready to go. And there we have it, a little piece of outdoors indoors. I'm just going to go and check that leaf near the light to make sure it's all safe, but creates a nice sort of balance in the corner over there, and I really like the green against the trunk. I think the colours really complement one another, quite earthy tones, and then of course the tree. So yeah, love it. One job of the day done. Your favourite brush? So this brush is from Manta, and Lumi is obsessed with it. You like the little tangle teaser, don't you? What have you got on your mush?
I cannot say what's wrong or right. No. It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life.
Yes.
Yeah.
These roses have been sent out by Chalk Pink Linen, and they've been sitting in a box for 48 hours. So I said to Lydia, we need to get them out, they need to get some light, a little bit of water as well. So these are Queen of Sweden Ostiga potted English roses. And so let's take a look inside and see what they look like. Lovely. Couple of little buds on there already. Perfect. So it says that this is actually suitable for shady areas, which means that if Lydia does want to stick these down in the basement, that it should be fine, which is great. There's actually some great information on the back of these cards. So if you're like me, you don't know a huge amount about gardening, each plant requires very different things and it can be quite confusing, but they've actually outlined all of the information on the back. So you've got the planting, the feeding and the pruning information, and they even go into the depths and the widths of which you should dig your holes and the times of the year at which you should prune your plant and stuff like that. So it's really informative, which is great. So I'm going to quickly tidy this up, but as you can see on the side, we have more light fittings. I'm not going to make you watch me do these, but it is something that I need to do today. So I'm going to get some more lights up around the house and get this little bad boy watered and outside so it gets a little bit of sunlight, because it's been deprived for 48 hours at least. L'extraordinary Ray Charles, Let the Good Times Roll, currently playing on the outside speakers. Obviously I'm not going to allow you to hear that because we will get a copyright strike. In a jazz mood to install the lights, Lydia's just brought me a platter of fruit.
Yeah.
For both of us?
Yeah.
Is that why there's two little tings? That looks amazing, babe. Well done you. I'm very hungry. Ooh, cocktail. Casualties.
Maybe you should take a break and come and eat this.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, sorry I've not been very active on the camera, but this evening we've got jack potato, a nice traditional hearty dinner cooked by Lara Croft this evening.
Pippi Longstockians.
Yeah. With tuna and cheese. But yeah, it's been a busy day in the garden. I whacked those lights up. I say whacked. I made it sound like I did it really quickly. It's taken me quite a lot of time to put the lights up, and I'm not going to bore you with the details, but basically there's a permanent feed but not a switch feed at the lights, so trying to work out why, and that's been taking quite a lot of time, so I'll put that on hold for the moment. Tidied up our gutters because we had a couple of leaks and we didn't want the walls to get damp where the gutter was leaking, so that's now fixed. Put some silicone sealant in there. And I just started raking over that woodland area just to tidy that up a little bit, and now having dinner. So it's been a really productive day, but I've not been on my camera, so that hasn't been so productive. But
Babe,
yeah.
what's the gutter for?
Pardon?
What's the gutters for?
Are you kidding me?
No.
You don't know what a gutter's for?
No.
You do not know what a gutter's for? You have to be joking.
No.
Does anybody else not know what a gutter is for? For me, that's like, I think I knew that when I was a kid.
Right, maybe I know it, but I don't.
It's to collect the rain off the roof.
But why does it need to be collected? Why can't it just go on the ground?
So it doesn't create damp against the house, which is why I'm fixing the guttering. So it takes the rain, puts it back into the sewage, into the water system. So it goes down, the pipes come down your house, go back into the...
Yeah, but why does that lip make such a difference? Because we've got a lip away from our house anyway, so why is the gutter... Ah, so you make it seem like it's a stupid question.
No, I thought you didn't know what it did.
Well, I don't see its purpose.
It collects water primarily off of the roof, and I believe that its main purpose is to collect water. However, it will also collect debris from the roof as well that falls down, like moss and stuff like that, which is why we've got the hedgehog tracks through, to stop leaves clogging up the drain pipes and the flow of water. Well, I think that's why. I think it's to do with the
but you don't know.
collection. What?
You just laughed at me for not knowing what the guttering does, but you don't know.
No, I know what it does. It collects water.
Yeah, but you don't know why.
I think, well,
I rest my case.
my guess is that it collects it to
You
put it
don't
back
know,
into the main waterworks system,
But you don't know.
so we can drink from our taps and stuff. It needs to go through the old
But you don't know.
cleaning system. Excuse the feet. It's been a hell of a day, isn't it?
Yeah.
You tired?
I want to go get my pajamas on.
I've got myself a hot chocolate. I'm in my dressing gown. Lids is finishing off the day. Let me guess, on Pinterest.
Not yet, I'm actually on Instagram.
Wow, that's a first. The only thing we didn't get done today, as Lydia just pointed out, is we're actually rolling up the rug in here. And we didn't get around to doing it because when Lydia wanted to do it, I said, no, I need to vlog it. We never did it.
No, we didn't.
It's been a busy day.
I can't believe how busy this day has been. Like, I've non-stop.
Yeah, same.
Same
There's always
thing.
something to do at the house.
I love it though.
I said to you this morning, I'm just going to do a few outside lights, a couple of little odd jobs around the house, and then I need to relax and rest for the week. What time is it?
10 o'clock.
I've just got out of the shower. Terrible. But I'm going to have this hot chocolate and go to bed. So as always, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I'm going to wrap this one up because we've rolled into 2 days and I feel like I didn't bring you the fashion and lifestyle element to my channel yet again. I'm just addicted to the garden at the moment, and the weather was so great this weekend it felt rude not to. So it is what it is. It's another video with me out and about doing jobs, but I will try and get something sorted for next video, but I'm not promising anything. Peace.
One